exist? People will say yes, but they don't want to know what is evil. How would you recognize evil if it came along? Opinion. You have your opinion, I have mine, this gentleman has his. These people probably have all different opinions about things. So if we're saying it's opinion, what we're saying is that evil in itself is nothing more than opinion. It's nothing more, in fact, than this word. I think this word encapsulates it quite well. Preference. What we say is that evil is not objective. It is merely your preference. It is my preference that to do that is wrong. But for someone else, it's their preference to do it is right. For example, murder. There are some people who believe murder is evil. That's it. There are other people who believe, under certain circumstances, murder is good. Why not? And to go against that would actually be evil. To actually say that murder under certain circumstances is wrong, some people say is evil. Could you beat that? Why? Because in our society we have no basis for evil or for good. Now people say, oh, look, just because you say that doesn't mean we can't be good. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that because of what we start with in the way we view our world, we have no basis for understanding what evil is as an objective reality. Therefore, it's just your preference. It's whatever you want to believe. You thinking about this, or you just nod your head? You just nod your head. Okay, well, think about it. Right? Yeah, good, do. What is it that makes such an impact in the way we think and where we end up? The beginning. What happened in the beginning? What happened in the beginning?
Who knows?
Who knows? Question. Okay. Who knows? What happened in the beginning? Well, what are we saying happened in the beginning?
We know.
Pardon? Yes. Right? This is what we're told.
That's only an opinion.
Actually,
your preference.
do you know where the Big Bang comes from, where the idea of the Big Bang comes from? Einstein did not believe in the Big Bang. You see, Einstein didn't believe there was a beginning, but there was a priest called Lemaitre who was an astronomer, and in his observations he discovered a red shift in the light, which means things are moving away. Blue shift means they're coming towards them. Red means they're going away. And he discovered that everything in the universe is accelerating and it's moving away. Therefore, there had to be a beginning. What started the beginning? What started? Was it nothing? In which case, we have an impersonal beginning. And what are you here today? Are you a person? Are you a person? Are you an individual with your own mind? Well, maybe other people try and twist your mind, right? But you're a person. You have feelings. You have values, right? Where did that come from if it's an impersonal beginning? I want to offer you an alternative. So, impersonal. That's one choice. There could be, on the other hand, there could be a personal beginning, right? But we're told that there is no impersonal beginning, personal beginning, right? No personal. That's what we're told. But what is the reality? It means that life can make sense, right? If there is an infinite personal creator there, life makes sense. If there isn't, and then you see, why does it have to? I grew up like you. I grew up thinking that life didn't make sense. But I grew up believing in evolution and the Big Bang. The creator himself burst into this world, which is no big deal for him. He can do anything. He's the creator. And he's infinite and powerful and personal, right? Personal, very important. And he came here and he did amazing things to demonstrate who he was. One of the things he did was he was at a party, a wedding party, and they ran out of wine. So, and you laugh because you're starting with the presupposition that says it's all impersonal, and therefore this is rubbish. Yeah, well, there's evidence right there. But you won't accept that. What kind of evidence would you accept, sir? Like what? Yeah, okay. See what happened? I was talking to a man a while ago, and I was having a discussion like this. I said to him, "What kind of evidence would be enough for you?" He said, "If God would have to tap me on the shoulder to demonstrate to me that He existed." He turned up, right? If He tapped you on the shoulder, would that be enough? Yeah. Well, you see, that's what this man said. He said, I said to him, "Would that be enough?" He said, "Yes, it would." I said, "I bet you'd find a way of explaining that away." And he said, "Well, yes, you're probably right, I would." Because it's not about the amount of evidence. It's about what we want as people. We don't want to submit. We don't want to submit to the king. We want to be king. We want to decide what's evil and what isn't so that we can do all the evil we want. We're selfish people. We have selfish tendencies. Now, the thing is, this man, you've heard of him, his name is Jesus, right? Now, when I'm talking about Jesus, I'm not talking about a religious idea, okay? I'm not talking about a religious idea. I'm talking about a historical person who was here, a real person who did real things, who was really true. This is really true. This is not a religious idea, okay? He was here, he had a miraculous birth. He turned water into amazing wine at this wedding party, right? It wasn't cheap wine. It was expensive wine. It didn't cost him anything because he made it, right? Well, you see, they thought that the wedding master said, "Hey, this is strange. You used the cheap wine first and you kept the best till later. People usually do it the other way around. You know, when you've had enough to drink, they give you the cheap club. You know, but not in this case." He went around, he healed blind people, made blind people see, deaf people hear, mute people speak, crippled people walk. He calmed the storm. He fed thousands with a handful. He did what, sorry? Cast out demons. He even raised the dead. But when it come to our problem of our treachery against him, because we refuse him, right? Because we think we know better, which is what it's all about. He had to go further. He couldn't just say a word or touch someone or something like that. No, to pay for us, because the penalty for our rebellion, our treachery, what is the penalty for treachery?
Execution.
And that's the way they executed people in those days. They'd hang them on a wooden cross. And it was a horrible death. Absolutely rotten. Because when you're hanging there, the only way you can breathe is to push up on your feet. And your feet are nailed into this wooden beam. You know, a terrible way to go. And interestingly enough, Pilate, the Roman governor at the time who sent Jesus to the cross, had a notice fixed to the top of the cross. You know what it said?
It was in 3 languages.
It was in 3 languages.
Jesus of Nazareth.
This is Jesus, King of the Jews, Jesus of Nazareth. Yes. Okay, so that's who he was. And the Jews went ballistic and said, "No, don't put that there," but that he claimed to be. They went ballistic because they didn't want that. But it says in the Creator's handbook, it says that unless there is shedding of blood, giving of life, there is no forgiveness. And Jesus shed his blood for you and for me. The thing is, he kept the law, right? He fulfilled the law completely, right? And he is the king himself, right? He is the creator who came here. And in the law, it says, cursed is everyone who does not continue to do everything written in the book of the law. Right? Do you do everything that's written in the book of the law?
No.
Do you even know what's written in the book of the law? There's 600 odd laws, right? 613 or something like that, right? He kept them all. But it's also written in the book of the law. It's also written in the book of the law. Look at this. Cursed is everyone who's hung on a tree. Cursed is everyone who's hung on a tree. And he took your curse for you so that you can go free. He took your curse for you. So that so that we can all go free. What happened then? When they took him down off the cross, right, he was dead. What happened then? They put him in a tomb. And they put a big rock in front of it, right? And 3 days later, the ladies came back to the tomb.
Why were they dissolved?
Sorry?
Why did they dissolve?
They went back to embalm the body because they couldn't do it at the time because the Sabbath was coming, right? So they found the tomb empty, and the rock was rolled away. Why was the rock rolled away? Was it for Jesus to get out? No, it was for the girls to get in, to see that he was gone, right?
But his body didn't go up. His only spirit. I thought
No, his body physically went up, right?
that was everyone. Or just
Just Jesus. Well, no, it will happen to all of us, but at this time it was just Jesus, right? Now, the interesting thing about this is, here, he pays your debt. Right? You're in debt. Right? You're in debt to God. You're in deep doo-doos, right? Your spiritual bank account is deeply in the red. It's infinitely in the red. There's nothing you can do about it. On the cross, he paid your debt. When he came back from the dead, it says everyone who trusts him or who believes, same sort of thing, who puts their faith in him, is credited, given, right, his goodness. Or the way it's put is, you're credited with his righteousness. So you stand before God without guilt and with the goodness of God. So when God looks at you, you're totally acceptable because you're good enough? No. Because of what he's done for you. Look, folks, thank you very much for listening. I'd like to give you one of these, and I'd love to chat with you if you